Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Michael Patmos, and it is Sunday, May 31st, 2026. And I learned some American history this morning, deepened my understanding of what I basically had a sense for, but it really shook me to my core. And I wanted to share with you what I learned today from American history. And it all started with seeing all these posts on Facebook that reflect the the contention or the belief that election integrity is a big problem, that there's all sorts of fraudulent voting going on, and that illegal non-citizens are voting in large numbers and affecting the outcome of elections. And as a result, we need this intense effort to ensure election integrity, and how no one could possibly, oppose, uh, election integrity. We all want, uh, you know, uh, accurate elections and correct elections. So this is all coming through on Facebook. On my feed is like one post after another, and uh, this goes along with what's happening in Congress. As you know, there's this bill called the SAVE Act, which I put all the details in below, which would add a whole level of government oversight to what's already illegal. It's already illegal for people who are non-citizens to vote in federal elections, and the data is clear. There's no significant voting to any significant extent by non-citizens in federal elections. That's a myth created by Trump. And so he's putting all this out there, and he's got people believing that election integrity is a problem, and that we need this law to protect the integrity of our elections. This bill, the SAVE Act, was passed repeatedly in the House of Representatives, but is stalled in the Senate. It's still there. It's just not going anywhere because it doesn't have sufficient support. And all of this uh, brings back some history lessons. So, for those of you who don't know your American history, here's what you need to know, what you should have learned, and what I should have learned better and did learn this morning. So, you may not realize it, but after the Civil War, blacks got the right to vote suddenly because of Abraham Lincoln and the then GOP, who were strong advocates for voting rights and for civil liberties and civil rights. Black Americans got the right to vote. And in most of the South, they were the majority. So guess what? They got elected to public office. There were two Black American U.S. senators, nine Black Americans in the um, House of Representatives, hundreds more elected to state legislatures, and hundreds more elected to local offices. All across the South, especially, Black Americans suddenly, overnight, were elected to office. And this it resulted in two things. One, it resulted in some really good things, like they used their power. Black Americans used their newfound power of elected office to do things like create public school systems to benefit all children, Black and white children. It also sparked a backlash. And that backlash came in the form of hundreds of proposed bills and laws all across the country that were intended to suppress Black people from getting elected. And um, that period of time was called the Reformation or the Reformation after the Civil War, and it was characterized by these in the backlash. It was characterized as a terrible time for the country, with full of horrible things that happened after the Civil War. No, actually, what happened was black people got elected to office, and the the racists out there spun it as a negative thing, and it resulted in an effort to suppress black vote. There's a video I attached from two history professors, one at Columbia and another one at another university, where they go into great detail about how Black Americans got the right to vote after the Civil War, and then in many locations lost it because of backlash and voter suppression. Well, the first, you probably don't even know who the first black person was elected to office. I didn't know, but I do now. And his name was Senator um, Hiram Revels, and he was not a slave. He was a highly educated black American, born free, and was a minister and was very highly educated, very articulate, and a strong leader and a minister. And he served in the U.S. Senate and he got all kinds of grief for it. And when he left, he became president of Alcorn State University. And he said something in 1876. He wrote these words, and they sound eerily poignant for today. Let me read this to you. Quote, since Reconstruction, the masses of my people have been, as it were, enslaved in mind by unprincipled adventurers who, caring nothing for the country, were willing to stoop to anything, no matter how infamous, to secure power to themselves and perpetuate it. My people have been told by these schemers when men have been placed on the ticket who were notoriously corrupt and dishonest, that they must vote for them, that the salvation of the party depended upon it, that the man who scratched a ticket was not a Republican. This is only one of the many means these unprincipled demagogues have devised to perpetuate the intellectual bondage of my people. The bitterness and hate created by the late civil strife has, in my opinion, been obliterated in this state, except perhaps in some localities, and would have long since been entirely obliterated were it not for some unprincipled men who would keep alive the bitterness of the past and inculcate a hatred between the races in order that they may aggrandize themselves by office and its emoluments to control my people, the effect of which is to degrade them. Last year, Donald Trump posted this picture, a picture below, of Barack Obama as an ape. Sound familiar? Let me be really clear. Trump is in big trouble right now. He's got the lowest ratings of any president ever. Many election experts predict that if Trump's ratings continue to be this low come November, that the House of Representatives, the GOP could lose 70 to 90 seats in the House of Representatives, which would give the Democrats a large and powerful majority. They would also lose the Senate by several seats. Trump is aware of this. He is aware that the midterms are looking like it's going to be a bloodbath for the Republicans. The longer the war in Iran drags on without a resolution, the longer gas prices remain high and Americans feel economic hardship, the more likely it is that Trump is going to get bashed. The GOP will get bashed in November. He knows this. This is why Facebook and other social media is full of this false messaging that there's an election integrity issue and that we need to outlaw write-in ballots and put ICE agents at polling places to intimidate people from voting. Now imagine that you're Latino and you are going to vote and there's an ICE agent standing in your way after they have killed people in this country, arrested Latinos and beaten them up and put them in jail who were citizens. Imagine that you're going to go vote and you're going to put yourself at risk for that. Latinos are afraid too. It's not just Black Americans this pertains to. This pertains to all people of color. So when you see Trump's messaging about election integrity, and you hear people talking all high and mighty about how we have to protect election integrity, recognize that the best data shows that the percentage of votes cast in federal elections by non-citizens is uh, less than less than a couple of tenths of a percentage point. It is, I think it's the elections right now are 99.75% correct. And the percentage of people who are non citizens who manage to vote is infinitesimally small and will not affect and has never affected any election. That whole argument is a scam. And it's a scam to manipulate you into thinking there's an election integrity issue and to manipulate you into voting for this bill that's actually just voter suppression. It's just the voter suppression mentality of the 1870s is still there. And that's what's going on. So let me be really clear about it. If you're a racist, you're admit it. If you are a racist, then you have a home. You have found your party and you have found your leader, and you should vote for Trump and the Save Act and all the Republicans. But if you don't want to be a racist, if you think you're better than that, or you want to be better than that, or you want to move forward and be a little bit more of an enlightened person, you can't be a Trump supporter. So what it tells me is if you're supporting Trump, you're either wittingly a racist, you know it, and you're willing to go that way, or you're a racist and you don't even realize it. So, in any case, November's coming, and most most registered voters did not vote last time around. Trump won with a minority of registered voters, about less than a third of registered voters, and he won. We cannot let that happen again. If you didn't vote last time around and you're appalled, disgusted by Donald Trump, make sure you vote in November. Let's not make this mistake again. The future of the United States depends on getting rid of this generation of false Republicans. True Republicans supported civil rights. This generation of Republicans, these are not Republicans. They're something else. They're fascist, actually. So, anyhow, remember all of this and remember your history and remember the name Senator Hiram Revels.